Well, hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on this Monday morning in Adelaide. Quite a nice day, reasonably warm, but a genteel sort of a day. So, speaking of things genteel, how are your manners? How are you at all the social encounters we have with people these days, or do we? Is it all done on the internet? I just thought I'd share a little bit of fun from this book I have here called Complete Etiquette for Ladies and Gentlemen. You can still buy second-hand copies of this on the internet, so I discovered. I'm not sure when it came out, but it was an entirely new edition at the time. It was £1, so it's an English book obviously. And these were in the series of books called Ward, Lock & Co.'s series of useful books. And they had cookery books. They had all things about character in handwriting, the doctor, a tradesman's calculator, household law, the young wives' advice book, and the manners series, which was this one here. Well, this is part of it, I think. So this is the list of titles in the manners series. Manners for men, manners for women, manners for girls, a word to women, how to be pretty, Beauty Adorned, the Book of Stitches, I'm not sure what that's about, maybe it's about knitting, health exercises and home gymnastics, the Applause Reciter, a new collection for amateur reciters. That probably sounds a bit like me. Recitations or recitations, comic and otherwise. The Gentle Art of Good Talking by Beatrice Knolles. What Shall I Say? A new letter writer for ladies concerning marriage by the Reverend E.J. Hardy, author of How to Be Happy Though Married. There you are, that's a good thought. Athletics of Today by A.H. Graham, and the Cooee Reciter. I wonder what that is. Cooee, of course, is the cry that people use in the Australian bush when they're trying to find someone. Cooee, cooee. I'm not quite doing it very well, but anyway, the Cooee Reciter. So there must be a book about it. And I think they do that in other countries as well. I'll read from the preface. This volume has been compiled to meet the requirements of the many men and women who find themselves suddenly called upon to discharge social duties to which, from lack of experience or limited environment, they have previously been strangers. The chief rule of the etiquette observed by well-bred people in the ordinary day affairs of everyday life are here set forth as concisely as has been deemed advisable. And to these have been added further details concerning the more ceremonious functions with which the average reader may at times find it necessary to be acquainted. I'm going to indulge in giving you a list of the contents because these are great contents. There's an introduction, of course. Presentation at court. This is if you happen to be presented at court. Precedency, I'm not sure what that is. Visiting. On leaving cards. Once upon a time you had to leave a calling card. Dinners. Luncheons. At homes. Duties of a hostess. Etiquette in a public place. Letter writing. Marriage. Christening. Riding. And the riding one I'm going to share with you shortly. I think it's so wonderful. Foreign travel. Shipboard etiquette, obligations to men. This section alone here is etiquette for gentlemen. Introductory, levees, well, I'm not sure what that is. Making calls, luncheons, dinners, carving, the man of the house, carving up the meat, perhaps. I don't know what that's about. Balls, I guess when we attend a ball we need to know the etiquette for that. Etiquette in the public eye. Courtship, marriage, funerals, conversation in society, giving presents, outdoor functions, travel, in the smoking room, and concerning compliments. Now I'm going to, as I said, I'm just going to pick one of these out. I'll read it in full because I think it's wonderful. And it's part of the etiquette for ladies, and it's called riding, horse riding. So here we go. Bear with me and stay with me to the end because towards the end there's a beautiful line right at the end. That's a bit of a spoiler alert, isn't it? Anyway, Riding. Whoever wishes, this is about ladies riding of course, whoever wishes to become a good horsewoman would do well to begin as early as possible. The advantages of taking time by the forelock in learning to ride are obvious. In the first place, there will be no bad habits to get rid of and no false ideas to overthrow. From the first time a woman mounts a horse, she should be instructed in such a way that she may have nothing to unlearn. The instructions given her should be so clear that they cannot be misunderstood. For if one gets into bad habits or follows the lead of a bad instructor, it becomes a matter of extreme difficulty to undo the harm that has been done. The woman's right hand is the whip hand. The left is the bridle hand. The near side of the horse is the left side, the side on which a woman rides and on which everybody mounts. That's the left side. The riding habit must be absolutely plain and free from ornament, usually dark in colour or of woolen stuff and close fitting to the figure. The gloves should be strong leather, coming up well upon the wrist. The whip light and plain. See that the saddle does not hurt or gall the horse, and that it is firmly secured for the safety of the rider. Every woman who rides should understand the construction and fastening of her horse's equipment as well as she does her own, and be able, in case of necessity, to bridle and saddle her horse for herself. I like this bit. The dependence upon men for every service of this kind is ridiculous. Heartily agree. When they are at hand, make them useful, that's men, but be able to do without them when needful. This is a book of the times, isn't it? A woman can scarcely be expected to have the agility to mount her horse from the ground without assistance, though with a well-trained horse she may readily mount from the steps of a horse block. But the best horse block is a friend that knows his duty, and a sensible woman will have no other. The rider places herself with her back to the near side of the horse, the reins gathered in her right hand, with which she also grasps the near crutch of the saddle. The man standing before her stoops down and, clasping his hands, offers them as a stirrup. She puts her left foot into his hands and her left hand upon his right shoulder. Then, springing lightly, she allows herself to be raised into her seat and places her right leg in the crutch of the saddle. The man then holds the stirrup and makes it of the proper length, which is, when it falls, just below the ankle bones. A woman should first learn to ride without a stirrup, which is the correct way for both sexes. When the foot is in the stirrup, the heel is a little lower than the toes. When a man rides with a woman, he would naturally take the left or near side, as better able to protect her and converse with her. But as his horse may rub against her or splash her dress, it is customary for him to ride on the off side. There you go. In dismounting, take the reins in the right hand as before. Remove the knee from the crutch and the foot from the stirrup. Be careful that the habit is free to allow of this, and then spring easily to the ground, or into the arms of the man ready to receive you, or put your hand on his shoulder and so jump to the ground. The beauty of riding is to command your horse as if he were a part of yourself, to accommodate yourself to his movements and make him suit your own purposes. A gentle, spirited, intelligent horse needs neither curb, nor whip, nor spur. He should understand the slightest movements of the rider, and at a word or even a slight movement of the hand, amble, trot, or gallop, retard, or stop. A well-trained horse feels the least change of the bit, or obeys the mere inclination of the hand bearing the rein against his neck, or her neck, I guess. The reader should always maintain a firm seat to avoid being thrown by any accident. She should also have the coolness and presence of mind to clear her foot from the stirrup and herself from the horse should he slip or stumble and fall. A woman should sit so as to bear her weight on the centre of the saddle and should carry her shoulders square with the horse and well back in order to give the chest its finest expansion. Carry the elbows near the body, but not too stiffly. In any situation, holding the elbows out and at a sharp angle is ungraceful and often inconvenient. In neither sex is the stirrup intended to support much of the weight of the rider, and particularly in the side saddle, where the rider is to depend neither on the crutch nor the stirrup except as aids and safeguards. When a woman, while her horse is in a smart trot, can look over on the right side far enough to see her horse's shoe, she is well in her seat. When a horse runs, we're getting to the good bits. Not that you haven't enjoyed this already, I'm sure. When a horse runs, keep as cool as possible. Avoid being brushed off under a tree or against posts. Bend well at sharp turns so as not to be flung off, and prepare for a sudden stop when he approaches any obstruction. If you are certain you cannot keep your seat, free yourself from the stirrup and crutch so as neither to hang by the foot nor drag by the dress, and land in as soft a place as you can find. There you land in as soft a place as you can find. As you're flying through the air, you're looking for a soft place to land. So there you are. That's etiquette, complete etiquette for ladies and gentlemen, and that's how a lady should learn to ride a horse. I'm not so sure whether the young lady in Australia who won the Melbourne Cup a couple of years ago had all that sort of training. She probably would find that a bit of a laugh as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and for those of you who ride horses, maybe you should go back and start learning some of these things. But I'm sure you know already. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like or subscribe or whatever you do, and I'll see you next time.